It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in downtown OKC. Tonight, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder playing host to the LA Clippers. Our opening tip won by the Thunder as we get started in OKC. To Adams. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Jay, the Clippers last year were 2 games better than 500. Pretty amazing when you think about what they dealt with.
Most definitely, but everything for this Clipper organization starts with Lou Williams. He is the stud for this team. It's his second time in his career he's been named 6th Man of the Year, and that's why they signed the 31-year-old to a 3-year, $24 million deal.
Paul into the front court, looking to make something happen. Ferguson to Paul. A lot of contact, no whistle.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing.
To Williams. Nothing going here on that drive. And the basket good at the rim.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Oklahoma City's got it. Paul against Paul George. Paul George able to recover with the block. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. To Paul. Has a chance. Paul's shot won't go down. Williams across the timeline. Lead is 2. To Harkless. George. Fine to shoot. Has a look. A shot no good there by Williams.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
2-point advantage. Knocked loose. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Can't connect from inside. Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. Ferguson to Paul. Paul George. Nice pass to get things going.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Paul with it up top. Down just a couple. Here comes the screen. To Paul. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Trying to cash in. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
I say this a lot, and it's only because coaches harp on it all the time. Read the scouting report. Know who you can and should send to the line. This is a case of knowing a shooter probably had a better chance of hitting a jumper than he does of hitting the free throw.
Jay, upon scanning this Clippers roster, there are a lot of guards for Doc Rivers to work with.
Yeah, they have a plethora of guards, and if I'm this team and if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm thinking about how do I throw as many guards at you as possible, because Doc wants to get another guard in there to apply the same pressure. They should be the new modern-day Detroit Pistons with the style they play defensively.
Oklahoma City ball. Ooh, crisp ball. He's 2 for 5. Not great, but trending.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal.
It's early. Get a good quality shot here.
Doesn't have the touch. No good.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. Screen coming. That ends the first quarter. No separation so far. It's all even. A good start to this one. All tied up as we start the second. Williams to Harkless. George to Williams. Whoa, Williams! He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Here comes the screen. To Paul. A drive down the lane, but the shot stays out. Williams across the timeline. The score 10-8. Slams it down.
And no emotion, just that ice-cold stare. That's a sign of somebody who's here to compete.
OKC ball. Paul to Adams. Probing the defense. Big man, Steven Adams. He's 2 for 2 now.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Williams to Williams knocks it down. That was a tough shot.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
Paul defended by Harkless. Shot by Ferguson off the mark. Williams into the front court. Leads 5. Nothing going here on that drive. Williams to Paul George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Harkless to Williams. Lets it fly from long range. Shot off the mark. Good defense. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. Ferguson matched up with Patrick Patterson. To Paul. Here comes the screen. Paul. Beyond the arc for 3. And the Clippers able to clear the board. Williams across the timeline. Up 5. Has a chance? Not today. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Williams to George. Nice finish at the rim.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. Carmelo Anthony traded, but Jay, Sam Presti turns that into
Westbrook is. He is not a ball-dominant guard. He will have the ball in his hands, but he's more apt to make plays quickly with the ball than Russell, who likes to hold on to the ball towards the end of the shot clock.
To Paul George. Nothing going here on that drive. Paul George. LA with 4 to shoot. Has a look. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Here's Schroeder with it. Down 5. Nothing going here on that drive. Short jumper won't go down. Knocked loose. Patterson guarded by CP3. Clips able to recover. He throws it down.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Paul, that's off the side of the rim, no good.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
George picked up by Noel. Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. George. Can't miss those. Deep 3 at the buzzer. First half in the books. The Clippers have the lead.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Clippers dominated this matchup from the opening tip, and they've been showing off some excellent shooting, and it's ultimately points that win games. So if they can keep this up, there's a great chance they can finish with a victory. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Thunder may be in the building, but they did not show up for this game. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Field goals.
What you see on the screen is how this team put itself at a disadvantage. They definitely have some adjustments to make for the second half.
Player of the half.
But he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Fellas, back to you.
All set to go here in the second half. The third quarter is underway. Williams into the front court. His team up by 7. Here comes the screen. Paul George. And a putback slam.
A lot of players lift weights, but who cares if you lift weights if you don't use that huge upper body? Great job using that big frame.
Now Paul with the basketball. His guys down by 9. Ferguson to Paul. Ooh, Chris Paul. Not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Drive right to the basket. Down the lane to lay it in.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Paul across the timeline. His team down 9. Here comes the screen. Ferguson here against Tarkless. LA Clippers with the basketball. Short jumper off the mark. Paul into the front court. 9-point margin. Trying to cash in. Jumper's good.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Williams across the timeline. Looking to make something happen. Oh, nice find for the basket.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Paul.
I got some for him.
Robertson, tough matchup against George. Down to Adams. And he's fouled. A trip to the line coming up.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Steven Adams, couple of free throws on the way. 56% for his career. First one goes down. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Williams into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. Almost unlucky bounce. Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. Has a chance. Shot by Paul won't go. Williams across the timeline. His team on top by 8. To Paul. Nothing going here on that drive. And count the basket.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
George against the elite defender Robertson. Williams to George. Here's Paul controlling the offense to Adams. Paul. Here comes the screen.
Big screen right there, big screen. Watch your back, watch your back, watch your back.
Paul.
That reach was just about a second off. He got his hand in there a little bit quicker. That would have been a steal.
Just enough imbalance. Can't connect on the first free throw. Hits a second. One more coming. Clippers have the basketball. Paul George. Probing the defense. Paul George. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
Old school equals high percentage.
Paul with it up top. The deficit is 6. Montrezl Harrell snatching it out of the air.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards. More ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Bad pass there. Clippers have it. To Paul George. Strong finish for Paul George. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
Has a look. Knocks it down off the step back. He'll let one fly from half court. That's the end of the third quarter. The Clippers are out in front. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter. They trail to this point, but you'd have to say this one's up for grabs.
And the new style we play with in this league, all it takes is 3 quick threes, and you're right back in the ballgame.
The pass taken away by the Clippers.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Nerlens Noel with the block.
Sent a message on...
Get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. It stays with Oklahoma City. Here's CP3. Keep on trying. Shot's no good there.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
They get it to George. Down low. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Paul George at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. A career 84% free throw shooter. The free throw good as he completes the 3-point play. And the lead is up to 9. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. Here comes the screen. To Paul. Trying to cash in. Paul shot off the mark.
The most of it is more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Knocked loose. Paul. Knocked loose. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Schroeder, down low, Noel. Able to convert inside.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Down low, George. Paul George. He's now 4 for 6.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Schroeder.
Hey, watch the screen left.
The screen sets him up for 2.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes 2 of us.
It's LA Clippers ball. Paul George. It's a big finish.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Short jumper slams it home on the putback.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. His guy's down 11. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
To George. Driving right to the basket. Straight down the middle of the lane. Way to punch it home. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Here comes the screen. Has a chance. Evans with a shot. That's no good. It's the Clippers with the possession now. To Paul George. He connects, had all the time in the world. Too easy.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a dip. He needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Paul here against Harkless. Ferguson. To Paul. OKC now with 4 to shoot. Paul. Fires the 3. Not getting the bounce. Harkless matched up with Ferguson. To George. Fires the 3. And Paul George good on the quick release there.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
That does it. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers put on a show in a blowout. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they scored their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Thunder seemed to lose their edge as the game got out of hand. Losses like this become main discussion topics in the media. So hopefully this team is ready to answer the tough questions. It's not going to be fun. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. Rebounds.
The Oklahoma City Thunder suffered a discrepancy in their rebounding, and in turn, it resulted in a loss. Rebounds are certainly not a glamorous stat, but wins are. And without competitive rebounding, you're not going to get wins. Paul George wasn't satisfied with just getting steals. He had to insist on getting a bunch of blocks as well. Now that's what I call defense.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
See y'all next time. Jalen Rose, signing out.